You open your eyes. The darkness in the Metropolitan Correctional Center cell presses against your chest. It smells of bleach and old, damp concrete. Today is August 10th. You know this is your last dawn, even though the sun never finds its way in here. Let's remember how it all began. Brooklyn, the 1950s. The smell of fuel oil clinging to your father's heavy work clothes. Your father was just a park inspector. You watched his exhaustion and made a vow. I will never live like this. Numbers became your first true passion. They don't lie. They are transparent. They were your key to the world. You didn't finish college, but who cares when your brain calculates faster than electronic machines? Dalton School, 1974. You walk into a classroom filled with the children of the wealthiest and most influential people on the planet. It smells of expensive perfume, hairspray, and the paper used to print million-dollar stocks and checks. You aren't just a math teacher. You are a predator observer. You study their habits, their pride, and their vulnerabilities. You learn to speak so that people couldn't say no. Your voice is as soft as $1,000 cashmere. The parents notice you, a college dropout with the mind of a shark. Welcome to the world of high finance. Bear Stearns, the 80s, the clatter of teletypes, the shouts of dealers, and the scent of cocaine dust in executive offices. You trade options. It's like poker, only you see the cards reflected in the eyes of your terrified opponent. Money isn't just paper. Money is energy. You feel its vibration every time you sign another lucrative contract. But you notice something else. Even the most powerful people have weaknesses, which they carefully hide behind closed doors. You start collecting information. Every dropped word, every strange glance. You record it all in a black file. You open your own firm. Your terms are audacious. You only work with those who have more than $1 billion. It's a brilliant bluff. Billionaires believe you because you smell just like them, of success and total impunity. You meet Leslie Wexner, the retail king, the man who built the Victoria's Secret empire. You step into his limousine, the smell of expensive leather and sterile air. You become his shadow and his genius. You get full power of attorney over his fortune. Now you control hundreds of millions without any personal liability. You buy a mansion in Manhattan, 7 floors of cold luxury and hidden cameras in every living room. You install lenses behind the mirrors. You want to see everything. The sins of your guests must become your primary asset. You buy your first plane, the Lolita Express. The cabin smells of cedar, champagne, and the anticipation of something filthy. On board are presidents, princes, and magnates. You give them what cannot be bought in any store. You watch Bill Clinton, you see him relax in your jet's seat, leaving his conscience behind. You know that now you are part of an exclusive club. You are untouchable because your secrets could burn down entire countries. Little St. James Island, the Caribbean, the sun stings the skin. The air smells of salt, sweat, and very expensive sunscreen. You build your temple there, a strange structure with a blue dome, a place where morality vanishes under the sound of the waves. Girls arrive there every week. They are young, terrified, and blinded by the false glitter of your blood money. You look at the sea from the terrace and feel like a god. You created a world where vice is the currency. You start financing science. You don't just want money, you want eternal life and power over death. You talk with Stephen Hawking on the island. You offer grants to geniuses so they can become your intellectual smokescreen. The smell of antiseptic in your laboratories. You want to alter genetics. You want to populate the world with only your own offspring. But the clouds are already gathering. Palm Beach, 2005. The first statement from a girl's mother sits on a desk. You sit in the sheriff's office. It smells of cheap coffee. You smile because you know which numbers to dial. Your lawyers are literal demons in suits. They smell of success and cynicism. They buy your right to be free. The case falls apart. You get only a year in jail with the right to go to work daily. This is your triumph. You walk free. The Florida jail is behind you, just an annoying trifle you easily buried under millions. The smell of freedom is the smell of your plane's aviation fuel, ready once again to carry you to new victims. You return to New York. Your mansion greets you with the chill of marble and the perfect, dead silence of its walls. You feel like an invulnerable titan. If the law couldn't break you then, it never will. You gather the elite again. Your evenings smell of truffles, old wine, and whispers about a new world architecture. You buy the loyalty of Harvard professors. You know that intellect is as easily bought as a woman's body. Your private study is lined with books. You want to crack the code of immortality. You want to be the eternal lord of shadows. You look at the portraits of great men on the walls. To the world, they are legends. To you, they are mere puppets. But your dangerous game on the island continues. Little St. James hosts guests once again under the cover of tropical darkness. You see famous politicians step off the jet, hiding their faces behind dark glasses and lies. You know, every move they make is recorded. Every moan in your bedrooms is saved as an insurance policy. The scent of exotic flowers blends with the bitter aftertaste of blackmail, which you keep in a steel safe. Ghislaine Maxwell is always nearby. She smells of elite tobacco and a cold, predatory devotion to your shared madness. She is your logistics manager of evil. She knows how to find new victims and how to force them into eternal silence. You work like a perfect conveyor belt. You don't produce goods, but broken destinies and the eternal enslavement of the elite. Prince Andrew smiles for your camera. You hold his future in your fist, and you love it. Power is not money. Power is knowing what your enemy did at night when he thought no one was watching. You sit in your chair with a bottle of mineral water. Your mind must always be clear for total control. You feel the invisible threads extending from your fingers to the White House and the great financial hubs. You are the center of the web. The whole world is just a large school where you are once again teaching everyone the mathematics of power. But time begins to work against you. The digital world is becoming too fast for your old analog schemes. The victims begin to speak. Their voices are quiet at first, like the rustle of grass, but they merge into the roar of the ocean. You see the first expose articles. You try to pay them off again, but this time the money smells of blood. The scent of fear seeps into your office for the first time. It smells like ozone before the most terrifying storm of your life. Your powerful friends stop answering your calls. They delete your number from their gold-plated contacts. You realize the horrific truth: you are only a tool. And when a tool becomes dangerous, it is simply destroyed. 2019. Paris. You dine at an expensive restaurant, but the food seems tasteless and meaningless to you. You board a plane for New York. You hope for one more deal of the century because you believe in your own exceptionalism. The hum of the engines lulls you. You look at the lights of the metropolis and believe in your last hidden ace. But at the Teterboro runway, it's not girls waiting for you, but federal agents with guns and warrants. The jet door opens. Cold night air rushes in, bringing with it the smell of iron and state-owned concrete. The handcuffs click shut. That dry sound is the final period in your biography as a financial genius and manipulator. Your lawyer is as pale as death. He knows the FBI now has access to your most secret safes. Your insurance has become your sentence. Every tape now testifies not against them, but against you. You enter the Metropolitan Jail. The smell of bleach hits your nose, washing away memories of tropical island scents. The cell door slams shut. The hollow thud of steel on stone is the end of your era of limitless secret power. You're left alone with the darkness. A mathematician who miscalculated the final equation at the cost of his own life. The first days in the cell are hell. The walls press in, and the sounds of others' screams won't let you sleep for a second. You stare at the 9 by 7 foot ceiling. This is your whole universe now. Instead of the boundless Atlantic Ocean, you try to negotiate. You offer millions for bail, but the judge looks at you like a dead man. You realize you have become too toxic. Even for those whose names you held in your safe for years, your cellmate is a convicted murderer. He looks at you with a contempt you've never known before. For the first time, you feel a true animal helplessness. Money here is just numbers on a paper that's worth nothing. The smell of prison food causes nausea. You remember the taste of lobsters on your island and close your eyes in pain. July 23rd. You are found on the floor with neck injuries. A first attempt or a first warning from friends. You are placed on suicide watch. The lights stay on 24/7. Your eyes burn from this artificial brightness. You sit in a paper gown that rustles with every movement. You are a caricature of yourself, of the god you once were. But within a week, the watch is lifted. Someone from above gave the order. Your fate is now in the hands of those you blackmailed. The scent of conspiracy hangs in the corridors. Guards whisper, and you see something strange and final in their eyes. August 9th, the evening before the end, you write your will. Your millions are to go to offshore accounts, far away from the victims. You are a mathematician to the end. Even in the face of death, you calculate how to preserve your capital for your ghostly legacy. You lie down on the cot. The sheets are coarse and smell of disinfectant. You listen to the footsteps in the corridor, which suddenly go silent. The light in the corridor flickers. You know the cameras aren't working. You know no one is coming to help. Your cellmate has been moved. The guards have gone to rest. You're left alone in the center of a perfectly planned vacuum. You hear your own pulse in your ears. This is the countdown. You realize your insurance policy has been canceled by the authorities. 6:30 in the morning. You lie on the floor. The silence becomes absolute, swallowing all your secrets and names. The crack of vertebrae. That is the sound of the system cleaning up its mistakes. Fast, efficient, and very quiet. You didn't die as a teacher or a financier. You died as a dangerous file that has finally been deleted from the system. Orderlies wheel your body away. Your face is covered with a blue cloth, but the world wants to see what's underneath. The news explodes with headlines. Suicide. But no one believes that word in a city where everything is bought and sold. People look for connections. Clinton, Trump, Gates. Their names are in the air again, but now they smell only of suspicion. Your mansion is empty. The FBI carries out boxes of evidence, but will they find the main thing? Or has it already vanished? Your island stands in the middle of the ocean. Now it is a monument to human greed and absolute unpunished evil. Your story is a mirror for the elite. You look into it and see not success, but a deep black abyss. You thought you outplayed everyone, but the mathematics of life is always more complex than the mathematics of dirty money. Money gave you everything. Private islands, jets, access to bodies and souls. But it didn't give you a way out. You were the architect of shadows. But in the end, the shadows consumed their creator, leaving not even a trace of remorse. A closed casket. You bury your secrets in the ground, but they live on in the nightmares of those who survived. You will remain in history as a ghost. A man who officially didn't exist in high circles, yet held them all. The dead tell no tales. This was your final service to the world you so despised and so desperately wanted. The smell of damp earth, darkness, the full and final end of your grand bloody secret game. You are Jeffrey Epstein, a man enigma, a man monster. Your account is finally closed, balance 0. Your jet rots in a hangar. Your girls try to start new lives, though the shadows of the island will never let them go, and the world keeps spinning. New mathematicians are already counting other people's money, hoping for a different finale. But the rules haven't changed. He who pays the piper calls the tune, until the music stops forever. You look at the world from the void and smile, because you know, the next Epstein is already walking through the doors of Dalton. He too smells of ambition, and sees people only as numbers and levers for manipulation. The cycle of violence and power is eternal. You were just a bright flash in this infinite dark system. Your insurance policy burned with you. Now it's every man for himself, The game begins again. Mathematics was your elevator, but the elevator always returns to the bottom, to the dirtiest and coldest floor. You lie in the dark. No voice, no power, no future. Only the silence you feared your whole life. Caption, case closed. But we know that true secrets never die. They simply change owners. We end this journey, a journey into the heart of darkness, where money smells of sin and success is just a form of blackmail.